What if quitting drinking isn't all about having more self-control? What if a big part of your success in cutting back or getting or staying sober is determined by how easy you make it to say no to the drink? In today's episode, I'm going to show you how a few tiny changes to your environment and to your routine can dramatically reduce the number of times you have to rely on willpower in the first place. You're listening to How to Drink Less, the podcast for people who want to change their relationship with alcohol without shame, labels, or relying on self-discipline alone. I'm your host, Adriana Cloud. I'm a certified coach and hypnotist, and I've been alcohol-free since December 2020. Every week on this podcast, I help you understand why you drink, how to stop obsessing about alcohol, and build a life you don't need to drink to escape. It's easier than you think. Listen on to find out how. Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk about something surprisingly simple but incredibly powerful: how to make it easier to say no to a drink. Because here's what I see all the time. People decide they want to drink less, and they somehow seem to expect that just by making that decision, they will suddenly transform into someone who loves sparkling water and someone who has completely erased the desire for a pre-dinner cocktail to help them put their workday behind. So they make the decision to cut back or take a break, but they don't change anything else in their routine. They stop at the same supermarket on the way home. They keep their favorite bottle of wine chilled in the fridge. They sit in the same armchair at the same time every evening, following the same routines. And then, when they end up pouring themselves a drink, they conclude, I just don't have enough willpower. But I want to show you today that willpower is not what you should be solving for. Instead, we will talk about how to make the decision to say no a lot easier. I bet you've all heard that advice that if you want to work out first thing in the morning, you should put your workout clothes next to your bed so that in the morning it's really easy to put them on. And once you're dressed in your gym outfit and you have the right shoes on, that's half the battle because you're already prepared for working out, so it's easier just to go ahead and do it. Or let's say I want to eat more fruit. I wouldn't hide it in the bottom drawer of the fridge while leaving a box of cookies on the kitchen counter. I would put the fruit where I could see it all the time. I would make it easy to pick up a pear or a handful of grapes when I found myself wanting a snack. And I would probably hide the box of cookies at the back of the cupboard, or maybe just throw them out or give them to someone. It sounds almost too simple, but our brains are constantly responding to our environment. We like to think that we're making rational, conscious decisions all day long, but the truth is, we're being steered by cues that we barely even notice. And the good news is that if your environment can nudge you towards drinking, it can also nudge you away from it. So I'm going to give you a few small practical changes that make saying no to alcohol just a little bit easier. Because here's the mistake most people make. They assume that if they really want to stop drinking, they should be able to ignore the bottle of Sauvignon Blanc in the fridge after a stressful day, or they should be able to go to happy hour where everyone else is drinking, and they want to be excited to order a soda because, after all, they know that alcohol is bad for their health. And listen, long term, I absolutely want you to feel fully in control, no matter how stressful a day you've had, how much alcohol is around you, or how many times your sister tells you that you're no fun when you're not drinking. That's what real freedom looks like, to feel fully in control around alcohol in any situation. That's what I work on with my clients every day. And it's a mix of breaking up old associations between alcohol and certain triggers, and at the same time, changing your beliefs about alcohol so that it loses its importance. But while you're still in the process of changing old habits and building better ones, why make it harder on yourself? If your goal is to drink less, stop creating an environment that constantly challenges you and demands that you resist temptation. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You don't have to impress anyone with your willpower or with your indifference. A few episodes ago, in episode 67, Why Sobriety Feels So Hard at First, I talked about how when you're learning to be sober, you're essentially a beginner because You're learning how to do without alcohol the things that you routinely used to drink through. Friday nights, birthdays, watching sports on the weekend, feeling tired, folding laundry, and everything in between. And when you're a beginner, you don't go for the advanced exam right away, do you? You build up to that. You make it easier on yourself while you're learning. And this applies to sobriety as well. Make it easier on yourself while you're learning how to be sober. And this is what that looks like. Number one, don't buy it. This sounds obvious, but people underestimate it. If there's no alcohol in your house, you have created an automatic pause. Now, if you want to drink, of course, you still can, but it requires extra decisions and extra effort. You either have to order alcohol to be delivered and wait, or you have to put shoes on, find your keys, drive to the liquor store, or walk to the corner shop. And that extra friction you've introduced matters quite a lot. Sometimes that friction is enough to convince you that you will be fine without drinking tonight. Number two, don't leave alcohol sitting around and don't chill it. If you insist on keeping alcohol in the house because your partner drinks or you're not ready to get rid of it, then don't leave the bottle of vodka out in the open, and don't keep your favorite alcoholic beverage sitting cold and enticing in the fridge. Because cold wine or cold beer says, drink me now. Warm wine and warm beer is a little bit less appealing right now, and that small pause can have a huge impact. Number three, make the alternative easier. Don't just remove or hide alcohol, replace it. Stock up on alcohol-free beverages and make sure you have lots of options. Sodas, kombuchas, non-alcoholic beer and wine, teas. We all love options. I did an episode on why I recommend you lean on NA drinks, especially early on in sobriety, and I do recommend you check out that episode as well. It's episode 69. And go a step further. Make the NA drinks enticing. If you enjoy sparkling water, keep it cold. Have some nice garnish at the ready to add to it. If you love kombucha, put it at eye level. If you're relying on tea as a replacement for booze, keep your favorite mug where you will see it. Don't make yourself go rummage through the cupboard when you're thirsty or craving a treat. Make alcohol-free options the obvious ones. Number four, change the setting. If you always sit in the same chair with a glass of wine, try something different. Go to a different room, or sit in a different spot on the couch, or call a friend before you settle in for the night. Go for a walk first. Your brain loves patterns, so interrupt the old pattern. Number five, change your route home as well. Don't underestimate how powerful cues are. If every evening you stop at the same supermarket and you're tempted by the wine aisle, drive a different way home. Don't do the shopping on the way back from work. Walk down a different street that doesn't have you passing by your favorite bar and its sunlit patio. The fewer cues that your brain encounters, the fewer cravings you will experience. Number six, change the first 5 minutes. This might be the biggest one. Most people don't actually crave alcohol in that witching hour between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. They crave something that signifies transition. You've just finished work, you're tired, and your nervous system wants a signal that says, you're done now, so you have permission to switch off and relax. And if in the past that signal has been, I will pour myself a glass of wine, now you need to create a new signal. Maybe take a shower as soon as you're done with work. Put on different clothes, light a candle, make a cup of tea, step outside and look at the sky. Play one song you love, stretch, play with your pet. Just do anything for 5 minutes, anything at all that distracts you from your regular alcohol routine. Our brains are always looking for a ritual, but you can create new rituals that have nothing to do with alcohol at all. Sometimes people tell me, but if I change my routines and get rid of the alcohol in the house, isn't that just avoiding the problem? No. You are learning how to break an old habit and build new habits. It's okay to modify your environment so that it supports you becoming the person you want to be. It's not cheating to set yourself up for success, okay? And I want to say a word about what to do if your goal right now is cutting back or drinking more mindfully rather than trying to go completely sober. All the advice still applies as far as cutting back, but here are a few more things you can do even while you're drinking alcohol. Move the alcohol to a different spot in the house. Pour your drink in a different glass so that it looks different and it feels different when you hold it. If you normally hold a drink in your right hand, put it in your left hand. Put it on the left-hand side so that you have to pick it up with the other hand. Sit in a different spot and put the drink further away so that you really have to reach to be able to grab it, or even better, so that you have to get up to go and get it. The goal is to become more conscious instead of running on autopilot. This way, you're not just going through the motions and drinking mindlessly while watching TV, but every drink you pour is intentional and every sip you take is intentional. And finally, you can enlist support from other people as well. If you feel comfortable, tell your friends that you're taking a break so that when you go out for brunch with them, they don't pressure you to have a Bloody Mary. Tell your partner that you're trying to cut back and ask them not to offer you a drink, even if they're still drinking. Help the people around you help you. You might be surprised how supportive they are and how willing they are to do their part in helping you achieve your goals. So here's my invitation for you this week. Don't focus on trying harder or making more rules. Instead, ask yourself, what is one small thing I could change in my environment today that could make saying no just 10% easier? Maybe it's not buying the wine. Maybe it's moving the wine glasses somewhere else. Maybe it's having an adult soda ready in the fridge instead of a bottle of rosé. Maybe it's taking a different route home. Maybe it's suggesting to your friend that you meet at Starbucks instead of at the bar. Maybe you change what you do in those first 5 minutes after you've closed your computer for the day. None of these things individually will keep you from drinking if you have decided to have a drink. Let's be clear about that. But together, they stack the odds in your favor, so you're more likely to make a more intentional choice that you feel proud of tomorrow morning. And when you're trying to build a new habit, you want as many things working for you as possible, not against you. Again, none of these changes are replacements for doing the work on understanding why you drink in the first place, learning how to manage cravings, or building a bank of evidence that alcohol isn't actually required to relax or have fun or feel confident. You still need to do that work if you want sustainable long-term change. But when you do that mindset work and you also make practical changes that help you to break the automatic associations with alcohol, then you're a lot more likely to succeed. And if you'd like more practical tools like this, tools that help you stop relying on willpower and start changing the way your brain thinks about alcohol, come to my free class called How to Stop Wanting Alcohol. In that class, I will walk you through the 3-step process I teach my clients to eliminate the desire for alcohol. Because when you don't want to drink, it's really easy not to drink. Save your free spot using the link in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Thank you so much for listening, my friends. If you enjoyed this episode, I would be super grateful if you subscribe, leave a review, or share it with someone who is trying to change their relationship with alcohol. The more you share, the more people get to discover the podcast. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.